So I just saw the new film Mercy, and let me tell you, I did not think this film was going to be good. But I did think it was going to be so bad that it was an enjoyable experience at the least. A bit of a laughing at it type situation. And this does sound foolish and naive of me, but I was potentially thinking we might have a War of the Worlds 2025, but 2026's version on our hands. I did think that trailer looked particularly horrible, and it got me excited, because I'm like, could this be that bad? Could Mercy be the next best, worst film, but best cinema experience of 2025? 2026? Still getting used to that. Don't like that. But, unfortunately, and I hate to say this, I truly do. Even just saying it, it doesn't make... I derive no pleasure from saying this, but I must give my honest opinion. I didn't hate this film. One might go so far as to say that I mostly, non-ironically, kinda had a bit of fun with this. Lord have mercy on my soul. Chris Pratt stars as a detective who's been accused of murdering his wife. He must stand trial in front of a new AI judge who gives him 90 minutes to prove his innocence, or he will be executed. This mostly involves Chris Pratt sitting in a chair and scrolling through Facebook and Instagram. Now, don't get me wrong. This is no masterpiece. This is a classic 3-star time at the cinema. The plot of this film is crazy and really funny and pretty, just charming in an early 2000s high concept sci-fi kind of way. This feels like it should have come out the year after Minority Report, where you've got the big Spielberg epic, and then you've got some Temu version just crawling its way into cinemas being like, look at me. And you're just like, this is so stupid. But also, I guess back in the day, it wouldn't have as much advancements, but really it is just Chris Pratt being like, I've got to solve my wife's murder, and he just scrolls through it kind of reminded me of Sherlock's Mind Palace in the UK Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock show, where he's like, my mind palace, and there's just shit flying everywhere. It's very Tony Stark with all these screens and blue CGI shit, but just imagine those kind of things, but it's just Facebook photos and email accounts, and just he's just siphoning through all this stuff, and then occasionally / all the time it will just cut to someone's phone where they're looking down the phone, it's all janky and out of frame, and it's all just body cam footage and drone shots, and that's all it is. It's just drone shots, body camera footage, and phone footage as he talks to all these people, and he has to solve his own murder in 90 minutes. The perfect time for a movie. Just so stupid. It just doesn't make any sense. It's one of those classic dystopian worlds where you just... I don't know, man. They would never make this happen. It's so funny to me. But it isn't so funny because it's so bad. War of the World style. Where the acting is atrocious, even though a lot of it is pretty fucking shit. Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson, they're doing pretty good stuff. It's not going to blow you away. It's not going to, it's not going to change your life. If you don't like Chris Pratt, this isn't going to change your mind. It is a silly, fun little mystery movie that kept me surprisingly engaged, non-ironically. There are some really silly, funny, absurd bits. The last act loses its fucking mind. It's just so crazy. It's so funny how it's there's a twist and a turn and a twist and a turn, and you're like, yeah, okay, no, these are all things I absolutely saw coming almost to the T. And then the third act's what about this? And I'm like, what do you mean? What is even happening right now? And I just thought that was really, really fun. Genuinely, just fun. So the AI is played by Rebecca Ferguson, who's doing her best cheek acting. A lot of... I can't do it. Her cheeks are very pronounced in this film. And there's just a lot of cheek acting. And she's pretty just an AI face that stands there. And then sometimes she kind of goes, And so the film is pretty much 90 minutes. It's kind of like an episode of 24 in that way, where it's just kind of ticking along and you know what the time is as you keep going. It really kind of stopped you from ever kind of, when you're watching a film and you're kind of I would love to kind of know if we're halfway, because emotionally, I feel like we're halfway in the story, and you ever just get the urge to check your phone just to be are we halfway? Or is this actually like dragging? And like, if I find out we're a third of the way in, I'm going to be like, oh no, this is too long. Or if you think the film's about to end and you check your phone, and it's like 45 minutes to go, and you're like, oh no. So if you are like me and you love to just know the time of structurally of when you're in a story, sometimes you won't need that this time, because there's just like a counter every 5 minutes. They're like, an hour and 13 minutes left in the film. And you're like, okay. An hour and 8 minutes left in the film. Okay. Maybe too many times, maybe showing me that too often. And so our cop man who is like, I didn't kill my wife, and hard to talk about his plot without giving it away, except unless this is your first movie, in which case, crazy choice. I don't know how you got here. That would be a fascinating life story to explain. So unless it is somehow your first film ever, which it's not, yeah. He probably didn't do it, but maybe he did. Maybe that's the twist, because there are some crazy twists and turns in this film, all of which are crazy predictable. Like, in a murder mystery film, I'm never the guy that picks the guy. Like when there's like the sixth guy around the table and they're like introducing you to all the people who could have done the killing. I'm never like, well, it's clearly that guy. I'm just like, it could be any of them, because all of them apparently have 17 motives and they all could have done it. And then by the end, I'm always like, my God, it was that guy. Not in this film. Within about 45 seconds of this character appearing, I'm like, oh, so it's going to be him. But then I'm like, but it couldn't be him, could it? And of course I'm talking about Chris Pratt. It's him. That's the twist. It's not. Obviously not. Why would that be the reveal? So I know for a lot of people, Chris Pratt's star has not only faded, but is essentially dead. But I don't know, man. I still really like him. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy films. I am maybe the only person in the whole world that mostly likes 2 of the 3 Jurassic World films. We don't include that new one. That film doesn't exist. It can't hurt you. So I don't know. I like him. And I thought he was really good in this. He's doing a bit more emotional stuff throughout the film that I thought was interesting. And he kind of makes just sitting in a chair, screaming at Rebecca Ferguson and crying and being like, oh no, I've only got 90 minutes to potentially prove my innocence. But maybe is he not in it? Did he do it? I mean, come on, film. Yeah, I thought it was good and enjoyable. And I was just like, nothing too atrocious here. There is, unfortunately for some people, I imagine, it is not a War of the Worlds Ice Cube situation where he's flicking through screens and just this bewildered look like he doesn't actually know what he's doing. Chris Pratt understands the CGI blue screen stuff that's flying around him that they're going to put in post. Like, he understands more so how to interact and react to those images that aren't there on set. But you feel like they are. I don't know. He does a pretty good job considering he's just like sitting in a chair for like the entire film. And so obviously AI right now is quite a controversial thingy or whatever. This film, I've heard a lot of people be like, it's very pro AI. Almost every like third comment on Letterboxd, even though there's only like 300, are all like, pro AI, this is terrible, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I kind of just disagree. I feel like you could read the end like that, but to me it just felt like more of a pretty classical cautionary tale of, if we give over control, like if we let the cops give the AI, this judge, jury, and executioner 90-minute trial situation, this absurd thing, but if we give them that ultimate power, it will destroy us. I don't know, it just felt like a cautionary tale of AI. And there are a couple of things at the end where it's like, I could see maybe why you think it's pro-AI, but to me it really just felt pretty pro-human, because essentially the entire film is Rebecca Ferguson just being an AI robot being like, we must follow the facts and the rules and regulations. And Chris Pratt's like, but I've got a hunch. I'm a cop and I've got a hunch. And she's like, that doesn't make sense to my computer. And like it sometimes flashes red as she's like dealing with like heart and hope and humanity, and she's like, I do not compute with your illogical human feelings. And he's like, but I've just got a feeling in my soul. At one point he's like, but it's my daughter. And the AI is like, I don't compute fact. And it's just like that. I don't really understand why people think it's pro AI, but also if you're just so vehemently against it, I can see a few lines right at the end triggering you and making you go, whoa, that what? Whereas to me, I just thought it was pretty fucking funny. I'm like, that's such a crazy thing to say at the end of the movie. Maybe it is pro-AI. I think it's pretty shit pro-AI propaganda. If it is, it didn't really make me go, huh. maybe we can start using AI to kill people in 90 minutes with no trial. It's because the plot is so fucking stupid. It's so crazy. I loved it. I thought it was really, really funny. I generally think this is just a classic, good old-fashioned 3-star time at the cinema. You're going to have a bit of fun, eat some popcorn, laugh, and at the end of the film, you'll all be talking about it with your friends. And then when you sit down for dinner, someone's going to mention like a different film or like, you know, the game last night, and you will forget that you've seen the movie. But that doesn't take away from that 90 minutes of gloriously okay mystery action thrillerness. What can I say? It was fine. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment below. I would love to know what you thought of Mercy.